Alright, welcome back ladies and gentlemen to the Chupacabra tutorials channel. I'm your host Larry, and today we're talking about how to add subtitles to your video using the brand new Add Subtitles feature inside of the Google backend. So when you're uploading your video and it's all uploaded and you're putting in the details and talking about ad suitability and all that background stuff before you publish it, they give you the option to now manually add subtitles directly through the interface. So by clicking on this add button underneath video elements, you can find it either here, or I'm sure there's a button for it in the edit window if you want to add these in after the fact. You can click on add, and it gives you one of three options here in order to do stuff initially. You can upload a file, so if you have like Premiere Pro that auto-generates really nice captions, or if you have another ability to edit captions in your video editor, you can export that text file and upload it here, which is super nice. Or you can go ahead and write them out manually, and you have two options. You got autosync here. This allows you to like type out like, all right, welcome back everyone to the Chupacabra's lair or tutorial channel. And instead of you denoting the timing, you can literally just write out what you're hearing. Like today we're showcasing Poke2, a bot for Discord. And what this will do is you can tell it like how long the captions go, where they start and where they stop. And it'll fill in the details for you, and you can just move around this bar that represents your big long captions file. And then YouTube will use its auto detect features to say, okay, this is where these similar sounding words are. We'll sync up the text in these places. Now, if you want to get more specific than that, you can click on edit timing, and then that'll take you to the other tool, which is almost exactly the same, except you get to denote the timing of all of the subtitles that you are making. So let's back out of this real quick and then go back in. So typing manually where it would take you otherwise is kind of similar, where you can type in, all right, welcome back everyone to the Chupacabra tutorials channel. And this allows you to grab this little block and put it somewhere. I'm going to put it way over here and kind of zoom out a little bit. And then I can see what it's going to look like up here on the video preview. And I can even turn this down a little bit and listen. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chupacabra tutorials channel. I'm your host. So then you can add, as you hear that, you can say like, oh, I'm your host, Larry. And then you can see where that, you can hear where that stuff is. You can pause, type, and then you can kind of fill in as you go and make sure everything butts up nicely. Now, it's worth noting, having done this a little bit professionally for some of my own video projects outside of YouTube, the general idea for best practices, you might notice that there's a lot of space for me to write stuff. And it's generally a good idea when you're adding new captions that you don't overfill the screen, because if I just keep typing and typing and typing, depending on the subtitling program and depending on the settings that you use, either inside of this or like in a video editor, you could actually overfill the screen with junk. Now, it's not doing it now, but when I was first doing this, I was able to add a whole bunch of garble, and it really overfilled the screen with stuff. See what I mean? So you only want to have like 2 or 3 lines of text before it kind of becomes a little too much for people to quickly read as they're trying to watch a video. It's generally a good idea to have just like a quick line, then a break, and then you write something else. Today we're checking out Poke2, a Pokemon game bot designed for Discord. And that way you kind of stay on 1 or 2 lines, and it's really quickly an easy thing for your eyes to go bing, bang, boom, reading as you go. That said, you know, you can adjust the timing in 2 ways. You can manually write it out here inside of this, so it's like the start time of when these captions appear and then the end time. as shown by the minute and second mark on the video previewer. You can also click and drag stuff around in the timeline down here. And when you drag from the edge, you can expand or contract how long it lasts. And it's kind of nice. It allows you to quickly add details, edit them, and then move on with your day. And then you can also, if you hover over these, you can hit enter to add another one. You can click the add caption here at the top. You can add caption line, or you can edit the whole thing just as a quick line of text and then go back and then edit the timings instead. So let's edit that draft. Oh, so I'm having an issue because I just uploaded this, but you can then write this out, and normally it allows you to jump back over and adjust the timing as it appears, or you can just let YouTube figure out how this stuff is supposed to align. But that, I mean, that's generally the gist of it. Write stuff, save it, and then YouTube will try to align it perfectly based upon what you've already given it. And it's nice. It makes the process a lot quicker. Me personally, I like to just upload a file, and I'm actually going to delete the one that it did have. But I just like to upload a file if I'm not going to just let YouTube auto-detect it. But if you find that you've got a very clear voice, you don't have a lot of lisp or accent, or you don't like roll your R's in a funny way that really confuses YouTube, because yes, that does confuse the hell out of YouTube, you could just use the auto-generated captions and it works pretty nicely. This is great if you have the ability to translate into multiple languages. If you don't, the YouTube auto-translate's pretty nice. It's just a nice little added bonus for your users to add some accessibility by making sure there's some hard-coded captions made by you that you know are good, not just made by a machine. And if they're in another language, that's also nice, because then audiences that aren't necessarily primarily English, French, Spanish speaking, they could enjoy it without knowing your primary language. So just a thought. But that in a nutshell, everybody, is how you add subtitles using the built-in panel for YouTube. It looks nice. I totally recommend it. It works pretty smoothly, and it's definitely on par with some of the basic tools that video editors have. If you got Premiere Pro and you're using the latest version, I totally recommend using the auto caption feature. It's magical. So that'll be it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I've been your host, Larry. If you have any questions on this, please feel free to let me know. You can leave them in the video comment section below, or you can pop into Discord and ask me your questions directly. We've also got a great growing community of people who can also help you with your various technical needs. So that'll be it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Bye!